So maybe you started to tap more into your feminine with men, and you're discovering things about yourself, how to let the positive energy flow, how to invite masculine service into your life, and accepting that, you just feel more uplifted and vibrant even. And while this is all amazing to be stepping into, like everything, there can be some hidden pitfalls that end up not serving us as well as we'd like. So we're going to go through a handful of mistakes to avoid when dating as a feminine woman. The first one is being too passive. Of course, a man who is in his masculine is quite front-footed, likes to make a plan. But that doesn't mean that you as a woman are just extra weight. You can take the initiative to move things along, especially moving things along that serve the relationship. The masculine seeks ambition, direction, and freedom. The feminine seeks connection, community, and intimacy. So if you've began to sit in the feminine side of yourself, it's natural for you to take the initiative to do things that's going to bring you closer within the relationship. It's advantageous even, especially because as a guy, we can know that we want to get closer to you, feel closer to you. We may not always know the best way to provide a space where it's encouraged to be emotionally vulnerable. So have in mind, while it's good to give a man the space to take the lead, when it comes to the emotional intimacy side, this is something that you as a woman will likely be in the driver's seat for. Men tend to drive the physical intimacy in the beginning, and it's good for you as a woman to drive the emotional as well. And then this works so well because you are both bringing complementary energies to the relationship, especially at the beginning. Next dating mistake to avoid as a feminine woman is to over-invest too soon. So we just established, as a woman sitting in your feminine, the feminine seeks closeness, it seeks connection. And sometimes you could be having that desire so strong in the beginning, and that's a beautiful thing. However, it doesn't serve us if we are completely led unawares by it. Sometimes what can happen is a woman will feel something very strong for a man quite quickly. Maybe she sees a lot of great qualities in him already. They're on the same page about what they both want. She really sees great potential with him. And so because she really likes him, she can over-invest too soon. Maybe they've only been on a couple of dates and he is showing interest and the signs are looking good. But she now starts trying to talk to him all the time. She's trying to have phone calls with him more frequently. The second they finish the date and say goodbye, she's already trying to arrange when they're next going to see each other, thinking of already having a weekend away together, yet you've only been on 2 or 3 dates with the guy. And while it comes from a very beautiful place, the issue this brings when you're dating a guy, and this happens very quickly in the beginning, is because a guy doesn't feel like he's earned it. To him, it can feel ungenuine, or he can perceive your value as lower than what it is because you're giving too much too soon. Now, that isn't me saying that you shouldn't allow yourself to like him and get excited by him. Of course, by all means do that. That's an awesome thing. But invest based on the momentum that you're at, as opposed to trying to force it to go from A to B to Z. You should be on the same page in terms of how much you're both reciprocating that energy that you're both building together. And yes, the amount you both give should go up over time. That's natural. But investing too much too soon risks him undervaluing you, and you risk him thinking that you're just out here looking for a boyfriend, not that you want him to be your boyfriend. You know what I mean? Next dating mistake to avoid is never offering to contribute. This plays into being too passive. A woman who's just there in a relationship, looks good but doesn't really contribute anything, this is very much trophy wife territory. Now, on the initial thought, that might sound nice. All I have to do is show up and look good. What an easy way to have a relationship. But the issue with this is, while you may never be expected to contribute, no one values it when you do, because you would have delegated yourself to the position of show up, look good, and smile. And so that's what they will expect from you. And if a guy is willing to just take care of you as a trophy wife for him and nothing more, a lot of the time they won't value your opinion, because to them it's like, well, what do you know? You do nothing. You contribute nothing. Now, you can still have a good man who takes care of you in a similar way, fulfills that role, but he'll be looking for you to contribute in other ways that feel good for you, but are also complementary to him. This also plays into the gratitude for him. Even if you know he'll sort it, like the bill or the car or the kitchen that needs repairing, whatever it is, the gesture of you offering is something that men really appreciate, because it tells him that you don't take his service for you for granted. Now, don't offer if you don't mean it, because if you offer and he accepts it, you need to be willing to follow through. You don't want to look like a liar. But this isn't the 1920s. You don't need to be just a pretty flower in the corner. The next dating mistake not to make as a feminine woman is losing your individuality. Masculine seeks direction, ambition, and freedom. Feminine seeks connection, closeness, and intimacy. It's really easy as a woman who sits in her feminine, which is very attractive to a lot of men, to completely and utterly define herself by her relationship or her relationship status. And while this is something you should give yourself permission to be fully proud and happy about, your individuality is what makes you unique. And there will be things unique about you that the man you are with will adore you for. It's part of the reason why he's choosing you. Esther Perel says it best: fire needs air to breathe. The fire is the passion you have with your man. The air is the space between you. Making sure you still have a level of individuality is what creates the healthy level of space between you. It's completely understandable that wanting closeness is wanting to erase the gap. And while that is a beautiful thing most of the time, there's a danger of too much familiarity. Too much familiarity brings a level of comfortability, which can bring complacency, a lack of effort towards each other. It can reduce intimacy. We forget that some of the excitement and anticipation of a new relationship is having space between you time to time. There could also be a risk of overstepping boundaries. Overfamiliarity can erode those boundaries for a healthy relationship, because you might start invading each other's privacy or feel entitled to, or start sharing excessive personal information that the other person didn't consent to, which can affect the trust and emotional security of the relationship. Now, this of course isn't to say that you shouldn't get close with your person, but it's important to strike the balance between familiarity and maintaining a sense of novelty and excitement that helps maintain a healthy relationship. So if you're ready to invite a great guy like that into your life, then enroll in my Claim Your Man program below, where I show you how to do just that. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep it slick.